Welcome back to Linux Gameplay Performance. In this video we'll look at Assassin's Creed Shadows on Bazzite 42. This is the second Japan-based open world action-adventure released in 2025 besides Ghost of Yotei, but it's the only one of the two that is available on PC, and just like Sucker Punch's sword-wielding adventure, AC Shadows supports ray tracing, which we'll of course test. The plan is to examine performance across almost all presets and, more importantly, how to address the crash to desktop issue that occurs when the game attempts to load the main menu. You won't like it, but it involved Windows for me. I also have a German version of this video on the Gameslinger DE channel, if you speak German and are sick of my accent. Assassin's Creed Shadows appears to start like any other game at first. Once we're past the intro videos, it complains about running off a mechanical hard drive, like Star Wars Outlaws also did. This message can be silenced by adding proton set game drive equals 1 to the game's launch options. Unfortunately, this does not resolve the crash to the desktop that occurs immediately afterward. I've retried multiple times, but the only solution I've found is to copy my Windows save game. You can find the save in the location you see on screen and copy it to the same place in Steam's Compat folder. AC Shadows supports all the upscalers, has a built-in dynamic resolution setting and can also generate frames. Since all DLSS options are hidden from a measly AMD user, I cannot confirm or deny multi-frame generation or which DLSS variant is available. FSR 4 is supported on Windows and performs very well. I'm playing at 4K on my TV with FSR 4 performance and am very happy with the visual quality. Testing on my 1440p monitor with FSR 4 quality also looks good. You can now also enable FSR 4 via Proton by adding Proton FSR 4 upgrade equals 1 to the launch options. I haven't done a direct visual comparison with Windows, so I don't know whether it's the same version or whether it produces the same image quality. It's enabled for this test when we get to upscaling. Looking at the graphics presets, Ubisoft does a peculiar thing. They have 3 low presets and 3 high presets, with both sets separated by a low and medium option. Why do we need ultra low and very low in addition to low? Dunno. The same applies to high. I'm sure a little bit of creativity could solve this. After my confusion had passed, I noticed that the presets do not affect the ray tracing option. If you want to enable ray tracing and your hardware can handle it, you must do so manually. It's only enforced in the hideout and only for global illumination. However, I strongly prefer GI and reflections as they eliminate the annoying SSR artifacts on bodies of water or puddles when it rains. And it rains a lot in this rendition of Japan, so I gladly take the performance hit and compensate for it by upscaling to achieve more consistent visuals. What Ubisoft games have done well for a long time is provide previews for the presets and individual options. This is excellent stuff and I wish everyone would do the same. Let's get into the gameplay and look at the magical and hypnotizing performance numbers we are all here for. I skipped ultra low and very low for the sake of time. Starting with the low preset still gives us enough to look at. The frame rate is very dependent on where you are in the world. At the start of the footage, in the settlement, it's on the lower side, hovering around 80 frames per second, plus or minus a few. In a moment, we'll see an instance where it goes beyond 90 FPS and even surpasses 100 FPS. Larger castles and fortresses will have a more negative effect on the performance, just like the settlement in the beginning did. Also, notice how much VRAM is required to run the low preset. Graphics cards with just 8 GB will likely have a bad time. Upping the quality to medium does not seem to change performance much, but the visual quality is better in my opinion and definitely worth it. Oddly though, the VRAM is now showing only 6 GB of usage. I had to restart the game for the preset change though, so I assume it'll climb the longer the gaming session goes on. These are certainly conflicting results. Performance is still very good.
What was that sound? Oh. This is your end!
High is when things start to look real nice like, and I think this is the preset to start from and experiment with as a baseline. The 9070 XT can handle a bit more, but non-XTs or 9060s should start here and work up or down. The visuals also come with a noticeable performance penalty. More often than not, the game drops to the 70s. Toward the end of the sequence, we can also see an issue with the AMD GPU on Linux when it must run a game and record video at the same time. The effect is even worse when using the more intense AV1 encoder instead of H.264, which I'm using. It doesn't always happen and is very dependent on the game. More on that later. The performance with the very high preset is right at the edge of 60 frames per second. It can easily slip below this threshold. The video stuttering persists at the very high preset even though the game is performing well. I'll skip ahead to find sections that run smoothly. In this camp, the performance is more stable above 70 FPS and can even reach 80 or 90 frames per second, which just goes to show how location dependent the performance can be in this game.
What?
Though this little area runs quite well, I've also tested locations where the ultra high preset was too much for the 9070 XT at the native resolution. Although it can be playable at around 50 FPS on a VRR screen, combat dropped into the 40s and became unresponsive. You also need at least 10 to 12 GB of VRAM to enjoy this level of quality at 1440p. The video encoder is also totally overwhelmed and unable to render smooth 60 FPS. I apologize for that. I don't have a capture card to take the burden off the GPU, but it's still an important data point to be aware of. The next to last quality example we're examining today is based on Digital Foundry's optimized high settings with a few tweaks. I increased the RT quality and gave everyone in the world nice hair strands. Even at lower quality it looks better than not having it. And lastly, I reduced the cloud quality because I'm a gamer and never look up from my feet, so I'm good here. Performance is very good in this fort now, given how the game looks. It still lacks ray tracing, which we'll get to next, but it's a handsome title nevertheless. It just doesn't stand out anymore in 2025. Riding across the open world brings us closer to 60 frames per second though. As mentioned earlier in the video, I want all the RT effects, so I must enable upscaling. But first, we'll look at the native 1440p performance of the RX 9070 XT. Not for long though, since the video is extremely choppy due to how the encoder performs when the GPU is really stressed.
I should investigate.
To fix gameplay performance, I enabled FSR4 quality. This also fixed the video footage issue for the most part. It didn't help my skill or luck fighting this very angry Ronin character dude. He beat me up second time. Here are screenshots of all the presets starting from low and working up to ultra high. On the left half you see the Linux image and its performance with Mangohud, and on the right half the Windows 11 version showing performance with Resentmon. To round out our first look at a performance comparison between Linux and Windows, I ran the built-in benchmark with my custom quality preset plus FSR4 quality upscaling and got these results. Again, Linux is on the left and Windows is on the right. Unlike the aforementioned Star Wars Outlaws, traversing feudal Japan is not plagued by horrible hitching. However, Outlaws had one leg up since it didn't require me to copy over a Windows save state. Your mileage may vary, as is often the case with Linux gaming. I was in the lucky position of still primarily gaming on Windows and having a save state ready to copy over. Otherwise, I might have been left stranded like Yasuke in front of a synchronization tower. Assassin's Creed Shadows also highlighted another issue that Linux gamers may face, especially those who stream or record gameplay. The Linux version of OBS does not allow you to set the encoding quality preset, unlike the Windows version. I assume it always defaults to the highest quality, which can result in dropped frames during encoding. I don't know how Nvidia GPUs handle this, but some games, not all mind you, stress the AMD GPU so much that it's unable to keep up with the encoding. AC Shadows already showed signs of this problem in the low presets, whereas the Gothic remake I recently looked at did no such thing, even at the high preset. Ideally, you have a second computer for streaming/recording that's important to you as a Linux gamer. And that is all I have for you today. Please consider doing all the YouTube stuff while ignoring the thumbs down button, or press it at least twice for a greater effect. Thank you for watching.